My Chemical Romance. It's a name that sends shivers down many a past and present emo or alternative kid. Starting as a small rock band from New Jersey, My Chem has rocketed themselves into stardom, cementing themselves in rock music and in general pop culture. The album that granted My Chemical Romance this status, The Black Parade, released in 2006, has a rich history and story about heartbreak, disease, redemption, hope, and soul-crushing hopelessness, all wrapped up in the perfect rock operatic concept album. The recording. The recording of The Black Parade took place at the Paramore Mansion in California. The stay at the mansion was hectic, to say the least. The mansion was built in 1923 and was the home of prominent silent film actor Antonio Morano and his family. The alleged haunting comes from the fact that Daisy, Antonio's wife, died in a car accident, and Antonio allegedly buried her body on the property. Since, the house has been used as a convent, a girls' home, and film location for Scream 3 and Halloween H2O. The property was sold in 1998 and named the Paramore Mansion. Preceding MCR's recording at the mansion, Papa Roach recorded an album there, saying that the mansion's vibe helped enhance the creativity of the band. MCR has also said that the mansion's atmosphere contributed to the creativity on the album, but it also terrorized each member. Bassist Mikey Way was going through a major depressive episode due to anxiety from the previous tour, resulting in him having a breakdown. The mansion had no phone, no heating, and little connection to the outside world, a bad atmosphere for Mikey's already depressive state. He began to drift into drug abuse and alcoholism. His mental condition left him at a crossroads, leave the band or leave the world. Mikey chose to leave the band, though eventually come back. The fact that Mikey left resulted in the song Famous Last Words. The lyrics, "Honey, if you stay, you'll be forgiven. Nothing you can say can stop me going home," particularly stand out to me. Each member of the band had an experience with the mansion's alleged ghosts. Gerard even started having night terrors, resulting in the creation of the song Sleep. The opening to Sleep is actually Gerard himself talking about the night terrors he experienced. Bob actually brought one of his friends over and they watched Halloween H2O and said it was very surreal to see Michael Myers walking through the room they were sitting in. After a few months into recording the album, the band decided to pack up and leave the mansion, choosing to record in a proper studio and not a haunted house. The story. The story of The Black Parade is a tragic one. It opens with the song, The End, a fitting name for the first track of an album, I know. The end begins with the beeping of a heart rate monitor, our first clue to the story of the album. The end, as I take it, is the beginning. Well, other than being the first track of the album, it is the diagnosis, and the line, "Another contusion, my funeral jag," is referencing the disease. Let's break it down. A contusion, the medical term for a bruise, references the disease, and a jag, a sharp object usually used to cause pain, is leading him to his funeral jag. So, this line, "Another contusion, my funeral jag," is saying that the bruises, or the disease, is bringing him to his death or funeral. Another line that helps us figure out the story is, "You've got front row seats to the penitent's ball." This, in my opinion, could mean the doctors and the nurses, who have a front row seat to his demise. Or, looking at the word penitence, which means sorrow or regret for sins, we could connect this song to Mama, which I interpret as a war veteran feeling remorse or regret for killing people, and the things that he did at war, saying, "Mama, we all go to hell." So, the penitent's ball could be a remorse for the slaying of people while he was in the army. Now on to Dead. Dead, as I take it, is the patient's mother talking to him, saying, "Did you get what you deserve?" This again, a call to the song Mama, where the mother character says, "She said you ain't no son of mine, for what you done they're gonna find, a place for you and just you mind, your manners when you go." Think of this line when I read the quote from Dead. Did you get what you deserve? I think that the mother character is judging him for the people he killed while in the army, and replying to her earlier statement in Mama. The third track, This Is How I Disappear, further develops on the theme of regret and sins of the past. It also adds the topic of a love that he is letting go with the line, "Without you is how I disappear." He's ending the relationship with his girlfriend, further developed in the song I Don't Love You. This song leans heavily into the patient's desire to be forgotten or to disappear. He wants to fade away, for his memory to burn out and to be forgotten. This particular theme is further developed in track 5, Welcome to the Black Parade, but we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. The next track, The Sharpest Lives, is largely about addiction and someone who is heavily addicted to alcohol. It's hard to place the song in the timeline of events, or if it even fits at all. I personally can't find a connection between this one and the others, but please let me know your opinions. One small anecdote is that Gerard did have a drinking problem, so this song is likely based on his struggles with alcoholism. Now on to the one everyone knows. Welcome to the Black Parade. Welcome to the Black Parade fits in very nicely, particularly with This Is How I Disappear, since the second half of the song is about the patient's memory carrying on, as the song says, and even if he's dead and gone, that his memory will live on through the people around him. Now, I Don't Love You. The title of this song almost makes me think that the patient is lying to himself. Like he does love her, but he can't bear to let her see himself wither away to nothing, so he has to end the relationship. He repeatedly asks her to tell him that she doesn't love him, to say she wants to leave, so he doesn't feel guilty for sparing her the pain of watching him in his final days. House of Wolves. The seventh track on the album is widely believed to be about hell, or the fear of going to hell. The patient believes that that is where he is heading, after all the bad deeds, saying, "Well, I think I'll burn in hell." The post-chorus even repeats the spelling of sin, repeating S-I-N-I-S-I-N. The song is largely about the patient coming to terms with his misdoings and that he will go to hell after he dies. Track 8. Cancer. The patient is now lamenting what will happen after he's gone, calling on his Aunt Marie to gather his things and prepare his funeral. He says to bury him in all of his favorite colors. He also tells his girlfriend that he will not kiss her, because the hardest part of him dying is knowing that he'll be leaving her on earth to mourn him. Track 9. Mama. Mama is about what the patient is actually regretting, killing people in war and taking of lives. He believes that since he has served and killed people, watching the light fade from their eyes, that he will go to hell. And his mother further supports this notion, saying, "For what you've done, they're gonna find a place for you, and just you mind your manners when you go." She regrets having a son, and one that killed people, and the patient regrets too, saying, "You should have raised a baby girl, I should have been a better son." By the end of the song, the mother character is weeping for her son's fate, and it can be heard as the song fades to a close. The patient believes he is damned to hell, saying, "We are all damned after all, through fortune and flame we fall." Track 10. Sleep. Sleep calls back to the Paramore mansion, mentioning Gerard's night terrors and how they affected him. He can even be heard at the beginning of the song recounting the night terrors. Track 11. Teenagers. Teenagers is another song that I cannot find a connection to the patient, but the story of the song and its creation is that Gerard was riding the train one day and saw a group of teenagers, and the fact that he wasn't a teenager anymore, wasn't a part of their world, scared him. Track 12. Disenchanted. Disenchanted is about reflection, and the reflection of the events in the patient's life and how the people around him have failed him. He says, "So I can watch all my heroes sell a car on TV." He sees his life as a movie where the ending is somber, but most of it was alright. I take this as life flashing before his eyes, a sort of movie playing out in his head as he fades, and he realizes that his life wasn't that bad after all. Track 13. Famous Last Words. This song, as I mentioned before, was written about Mikey Way, but I can still find some connection to the patient's story. The song, as I take it, is the patient persevering, overcoming his disease, saying he isn't afraid to keep on living. He doesn't care what happens, but he'll keep on fighting until the end. Now you could stop there, but there is one more song, Blood, the hidden track. Blood gives another perspective to the ending, or an entirely different ending in of itself. A sort of choose-your-own-adventure at the tail end of the album. The interpretation that I have is that this ending is where the patient succumbs to the disease and goes to hell. In conclusion, The Black Parade is a masterpiece of a rock opera and a stellar concept album, rivaling the likes of the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's and Green Day's American Idiot. The album is steeped in this melancholic story of regret and self-loathing that ends in either a triumphant return that warms the heart, or a fiery death where the patient learns to atone for his sins, but this time he cannot be forgiven. I honestly love the album, and it's definitely up there in my top 10. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the project below. So long, and good night.